Hello fellow fitness YouTubers, Freak for Fitness here, and I am back with not the next exactly planned video, but I figured that this would give you a little bit of insight on nutrition, which is a big deal for me, as it should be for all of you. Here I have a very basic and easy, delicious recipe for muscle building French toast. And it's like any other French toast really, but the difference here is that I have better, more natural ingredients. And I mean, eggs and bread are fairly natural, but the thing is, these are different. What I do is I find a bread that has no high fructose corn syrup, extra protein, and lower in sodium and carbs and all that good mess. But this recipe is absolutely delicious and very easy to make. We have today was one of my favorite days ever. Today was a loading day. For me, that's where I train two major muscle groups, and I basically get to eat as much as I want. So I get to load up on the carbs, I get to load up on proteins. Basically, each loading day is different. I'll eat different foods and whatnot, but the bigger picture is that I just aim to, how do I put it? I don't really cut or bulk per se. I don't let the time of the year tell me when it's time to put on size or when it's time to shed the pounds. What I do is I focus on both all throughout the year, so that way I don't have to worry about any major changes. Like if, let's say, summer's coming around, and coincidentally it is, most people right now are probably going to be dieting down big time so that they can get those abs popping. Me, for the most part, I've always got the abs. I don't have fitness model abs per se, but they're strong, they're defined, and I can see them every day. And I also have a fair bit of size. I haven't been training long, honestly. I've been studying nutrition and bodybuilding and active lifestyles for 8 years, probably longer. And I didn't start training until about 5 years into my studies, so I haven't been acting on this very long. But for being someone who is natural and not very big, I would say that my strength is definitely on point, my abilities are on point, my flexibility could use some work, although I'm pretty agile and I can do what I do on a daily basis. And I schedule rest days as I deem them necessary. If my body feels fine, then I'm going to go hit it. I'm not going to let some study tell me when it's time to schedule my rest day. My body will tell me that much. I've learned to listen to my body. And I train like a maniac, so the purpose of this video is not just to show you what I eat, but it's to show you ultimately that you don't have to rely on the bland chicken and rice, bodybuilding typical foods. They are good ones, and you should be eating them. But you can, feel free to mix it up and really enjoy yourself. And the French toast is not something I do very often. I also do pancakes and whatnot. But the reason I don't do it very often is because when I eat spaghetti, and that's, in my opinion, a cheat food. It's not heavy, it's not bad per se, but when I do spaghetti, I will not eat I don't, how do I put it? When it comes to the sauce, it's kind of like milk and cereal. You go through one bowl of cereal, you have a little bit of milk in there, you're like, alright, pour some more cereal in there, and then, obviously you have to add a little bit more milk, and then you just keep going and going. Well, that's how I treat my spaghetti. I just can't have enough sauce. But the same principle applies to French toast and pancakes. I can't get enough of that syrup. I just have to drown it. So, in essence, I don't make this one very often, maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks. But it suits its purpose. It helps me to train like a maniac, and it fuels me up and keeps me pretty satisfied. That is the end product. As you can see, it's pretty similar to traditional French toast, and it's honestly not that far off. But this recipe allows me to focus on keeping vital nutrients into my training regimens, such as omega-3s and proteins and all kinds of essential micro and macronutrients. Both of these are generally something that we all lack as we put on age, because we worry more about what's happening in our personal emotional lives versus making sure that we ourselves are okay. And when we slip on these things, we don't really think about nutrition. And that's the other thing. Nutrition itself is wonderful. You will see dramatic changes in your overall, not just appearance, but how you feel, how you're able to perform throughout the day. But the biggest part is that it comes at a price. You must be active. I don't say work out. I don't like the word, kind of like the word fitness. To me, that's a label, and I don't like that because I live this every day. This is how I am. And, you know, when people, you know, get on my case about skipping the gym, blah, blah, it's not that I'm concerned about losing gains, just that it's what makes me feel good. When I push my body to my limits, or even just like a simple little routine for like maybe an hour. Just something. I love being active, and I love the feeling of accomplishment when I am done with it. Because before all this, I was one of the laziest, most inactive people you would ever meet. Anyway, I digress. The point of this is to show you that you can be innovative and enjoy what you eat on a day-to-day basis like I do. I enjoy what I eat all the time. I'm not trying to sell you any garbage, no infomercial garbage, nothing that's not going to work. This works on a daily basis. I have been doing, ever since I started my nutrition plan like this, I have noticed a dramatic change in not just my ability and my performance, but in my appearance as well. So, just something to consider, and understand that you can, you don't have to be super strict. But none of us are competing for a show. Well, most of us aren't competing for a show, but you can have fun with it and enjoy it. Until next time, thank you.